Today, Sony announced its stunningly original idea of the PS Classic console. The package contains 20 hit titles from the PS1 generation, 2 non-DualShock controllers, and a whopping price tag of €99, which in USD is around $115. Is this the moment every Sony fan has been waiting for, or just another cash grab from a big company? Let's compare this PS Classic to the origin of its creation, the NES and SNES mini editions. So what do you get versus the Nintendo console? As far as what you see from Sony, they've copied Nintendo's product almost to a T. The only original bit is that Sony has decided to give their customers a lower amount of games and a higher price tag. Both Nintendo consoles come with 30 games each and a $60 price tag per piece, while Sony's single console racks up to $115 at a total of 20 games. For $5 extra, you can get 40 more games from Nintendo. Let's cut a little bit and talk about pre-orders for a second. So pre-orders are essentially just, you give the company a bit of money, they'll have you a guaranteed product once it comes out, you can pick it up that day, and right now for the PS Classic, you can pre-order it for that $115 for GameStop. Now, I've always been skeptical of pre-orders, just because this is just an industry where people can promise stuff and they don't, come out how you want it to. No Man's Sky. And with this, it's no different. Now, Nintendo did offer pre-orders for their classic consoles, and I'm not going to say that was a good idea for them, even though their products were good, and they were what they planned them to be. The fortunate thing is, with the PS Classic, you don't even really know what you're getting yet. They've only released 5 of the games that they plan on putting on the console, and there's 15 other mysteries that could be out there. Now, they could be anywhere from excellent games to garbage that people never even played, and you have no idea. The other problem with the pre-orders is scalpers. Scalpers are a huge issue in the gaming industry, and for those who are not willing to pre-order a product like myself, they grab up and alienate us when they actually bring the products out, because this price will go from, say, $115, they could be $300 on eBay once all of them are sapped up. The same thing happened with Nintendo's products, which is why I don't understand why Sony didn't see this coming. With the pre-order, you allowed, just like with the Nintendo, to happen for people to resell these items, even though they will come back in stock. My Nintendo Classic Edition, the NES thing, I got that for $60 at Best Buy just the other day. But now, who knows? You could get this PS Classic for $400 when it comes out. It's kind of ridiculous. The very first thing that came to mind when I saw the list of games announced for the Classic was, can I play those games already? Under the assumption that anyone buying the Classic owns or has owned a PS3 or 4, they can buy every game announced except for just one. Final Fantasy VII, Ridge Racer, Jumping Flash, and Wild Arms can all be bought on the PS Store and downloaded to your console, Tekken 3 being the only exception to this list. This puts the value of this console so much lower than that of the Nintendo version for me. Yes, like many of the games on Nintendo's consoles are available through Virtual Console, but the whole aesthetic of that PS Classic is that you're playing on the original controllers and everything, which is the same thing that the NES and the SNES do. To do those originally and actually play on those consoles, you'd be spending up to hundreds of dollars finding a working console, working controllers, and actually going out and getting those games on top of that in working order. It would just be such a ridiculous process to get through, and the PS is just not giving that same value out of it. For the 60 different games you get on the NES console, you're getting 20 random ones, and assuming that most of those that get released when they do get announced are also going to be on the PS Store, and that's just a big disappointment for me. Now, Sony's exclusives have always been very good. You have classics such as Crash and Spyro and just a ton of other stuff, but the ones that they've announced for this console are very slim. They're not these big mega games that I think would be great for advertising with. Nintendo's got Mario, the Zelda series, and all those things, but all the PlayStation one has to offer is Final Fantasy and a couple of minor games that I barely even have heard of before I did the research on this, and they weren't even that great of sellers. I don't know what they would even premise the rest of this with. And with Castlevania getting that rumor that it's being re-released for the PS4, I can't see them re-releasing those same games onto the Classic at the same time. It doesn't make any sense. Why would Sony and Konami do that for each other, release the same game twice? Maybe because people will buy it, I don't know, but it just seems so sketchy that none of those nice titles that like everyone recognizes was on that list of things. Now, of course, I must give a counterpoint to this. For Nintendo fans such as myself, the mini editions to the timeless consoles were a sweet collector's piece to add to my growing stack of consoles. For Sony fans, I can see this in the same light. Younger gamers can now experience games they've never had the chance to, and older gamers can relive the fun they had as a child. Having a package deal of classic games that you have either loved for years or have no opportunity to play is a blessing. The small Sony console is convenient to travel with and can bring fun wherever it goes with its local multiplayer compatibility. It also allows the consumer to not need any of the new age consoles with digital copies of the games that come with the classic. And I understand all that, so I need to address it because it's not doing anything horrible. My biggest gripe with this announcement is that the idea itself is fine, but the execution is so poor. Sony can provide a much better product and not support scalpers and not rip off people with over $100 for a price tag from their loyal customers. I feel like they can do a lot better at this, and I hope that they change something. And that about wraps it up for my rant. Thank you for listening. I did some research on this. It was very fun. I plan on doing more videos like this. Leave a like if you want to, leave a comment if you want to talk to me about something, if you think I said something wrong, or if you want to just put your little input in. I'll be happy to read them once I upload this. Besides that, hey man, have a great day and come back for more.